Hey guys, my name is Tim and welcome to Pathophysiology at Gateway Technical College. What I'm doing is I'm putting together a little introductory video, just kind of show you how the course is run. This course is going to be a little unique, meaning there's going to be no discussion board. What we're going to give you is the information that you need to be successful in this course. Both Kelly and I, there's going to be two instructors. Kelly Niprath and me, I'm Tim Sorensen. We've been nurses a long time. And we talked about this and we found out, after discussing it, is that there are real tough areas when students are in nursing school that in many respects dictate whether they become a nurse or not. So in this class, what we're going to do is we're going to cover those tough areas. We want you guys to be successful in clinical. So this class is designed to help you. It's not designed to hurt you. And I hope you understand that. We want you guys to be successful in clinical, and we want you to be successful nurses. And to that end, what we're asking, because this class is only 7 weeks long, we're asking you to you have to be on top of this. And again, this class is not designed to be punitive. You're taking it as an elective. So, with that in mind, students shouldn't get punished for wanting to learn. Yet at the same time, if you don't put a good effort into it, what do you want from me, right? I'm going to give you, and Kelly's going to give you, everything you need to be successful in this course. All you have to do is follow our little 7-week program, and it'll be okay for you, I promise. All right? Now look. These are the topics that are just tough for students, right? Now, watch, and no one can argue with this. No one. In order to understand drugs, and in order to understand any type of pathophysiology, you have to understand basic cell structure and function. So I place videos on there explaining these concepts, and you really need to get this. No one can argue with this, is that there's no drug that works just, I got a liver problem, so I got this drug that coats my liver, right? Drugs work on individual cells, and they alter cell function. And more on that later. My point is that if you understand, at least at a basic level, structure and the function of a human cell, it's going to make your life a lot better. The other concepts that are very difficult for students is acid-base balance and the concept of pH. Now I'm going to cover that. And I've made specific videos on each topic. And what's important for you to understand is that you need to understand these concepts that I'm going through in each video. And if you do, then you can move on to the next one. And each video is aligned where you watch the first video first, second, because it builds on each other. And if you understand those concepts that I'm trying to lay down for you in those early videos, it'll be a lot better for you. Once we get through pH and you understand the concept of pH and how the body controls pH and why it's important, then we're going to go into fluid and electrolyte disturbances. And again, the devil's in the details, right? So I'm not asking you to try to memorize 900 signs and symptoms of hypokalemia, right? I'm going to explain to you what produces those signs and symptoms. And if you understand that, then you don't have to memorize those signs and symptoms. You can predict them. We're going to talk about control of cell division because then we got to talk about cancer, right? More on that, and there's a video on that. Then the next section we're going to talk about is endocrinology, right? Endocrine pathology. So we're going to talk about diabetes, hypothyroidism, right? Hyperthyroidism, cortisol, all that stuff. And there's videos that are specific on each topic, and please watch it. Also, you have your book. Then we're going to talk about cardiovascular pathophysiology and then respiratory pathophysiology. And again, because we're cutting this down, we're condensing it in terms of the real hot topics that students really need to understand to do well in clinical, the level of detail is going to increase. So I'm not going to be asking you basic fundamental questions that you can probably figure out in your head. You're going to have to understand more detailed and specific ideas behind each disease. So again, we want you to have a great experience in this course, and again, not to memorize a ton of unrelated facts, but to get some very, very specific information that will never leave you, and you will always use this if you become a nurse. I've been a nurse 33 years, and the stuff I'm going to try to explain to you, I use every day. We hope you have a great experience. Now watch. What I just showed you is the announcements, and you're going to have to check these frequently. As a matter of fact, you need to be on this stuff all the time. If you got a spare, hour or two, and look, you took this class and you knew it was going to be 7 weeks, right? So what do you want from me, right? I'm going to give you the stuff you need. You got to be on this. The place you want to go first is the syllabus. You look that over. You got any questions, you email Kelly about that, right? Kelly's going to handle all the emails regarding this course. You got any questions about this course, email Kelly, right? I'm handling all the course content. Look at that syllabus. This is what you want to know. This is the course documents. This is all the information that you're going to be needing to be successful in this course. So after you read the syllabus, you understand how it's going to roll, click on Pathophysiology 1 and 2. I got a PowerPoint presentation on each of the topics. You need to look at that. You need to study that. Then I have a study guide for each unit. So for test number 1, open that puppy up. And these are the things you're going to need to know. Now watch. You need to understand this stuff. You need to understand, like number 5, people struggle with that because it's chemistry. They struggle with this. You need to understand which way it goes and what systems are involved in acid-base balance. And here's the other thing. When you talk about fluid and electrolytes, you talk about the 2 systems of the body that require electrolytes in order to function. And that's the cardiovascular system and the nervous system. So when I ask you to watch the video on how a nerve produces an electrical impulse and how the heart produces an electrical impulse, you need to watch that and you need to understand it. Most of you have had, all of you have had general, and most of you have had advanced anatomy or are in it. And look, it is what it is, right? You need to be on top of this and studying this. And then I have a specific video, and I'll show you, for each one of these electrolyte disturbances. Then there's a video on cancer and how it spreads, and then how you treat it and diagnose it. And that's quiz number 1. And if you can answer these questions successfully, and with, to be honest, a reasonable amount of detail, you will be successful on quiz number 1. I made quiz number 1. And I made quiz number 1, or test number 1, based on you understanding these questions. And if you do, you'll be successful. So I'm giving you a blueprint. This is what I need to know. If I study this stuff, this guy says I'm going to do good in this class. And I'm telling you that you will do good in this class. These questions aren't designed to trick you. They're designed to help you and test you if you truly study this stuff. And if you did, you will be successful. So let's go back. That's unit 1, right? Now, there's also a little Kahoot. You got to use your phone for that, right? So it'll display on the computer screen, but you have to use your phone to answer the questions. And this is just a review of the information that we have covered in this unit. And then I start at ground zero. The importance of organic compounds and amino acids, what's that mean? How stuff moves into and out of a cell. Now watch. If you're going to understand how the heart and a nerve produces an electrical impulse, you need to know how stuff moves into and out of a cell. Then you have osmosis and diffusion. Watch. I can't even tell you. If you understand osmosis and diffusion, how much you know about the human body. That's a fact. Need to watch that. Then iso, hypo, and hypertonic solutions, you need to get that. Especially nursing, they love that stuff. Then, oh my buddy, oh my pal, CO2 and which way the equation goes. You got to get it. You have to understand it. Keep going over it until you do, right? If you don't, then look it up. Read your book. Chemical and physiologic buffers and how they work. Critical. You need to know that. Then, in this unit, in this section, I put the generation of an action potential, how a nerve generates an electrical impulse. And if you're going to understand electrolyte imbalances, you got to understand that. And you need to understand how the heart produces its electrical activity. And again, if you understand this, then you're going to understand the effects of electrolyte disturbances and how they affect the heart and the nervous system. And then I get into all the electrolyte disturbances, the major ones. These are the ones you're going to see routinely, right? Calcium and how it's controlled hormonally, right? And then some of the clinical signs, the clinical manifestations that you're going to see in hypocalcemia, hypercalcemia, and then finally cancer. So once you've gone through all of this, studied it, you know it, you can answer those questions backwards and forwards, you will be prepared for test number 1. Test number 1 will be posted on Blackboard. There's anywhere from 40 to 50 multiple choice true-false questions. And I'm telling you right now that if you are prepared, you understand what's going on here, you will be successful. And again, once you're done with unit number 1, and we're giving you about, we're giving you 10, 12 days to prepare and study for this stuff. So the level of detail that both of us are expecting is high, and this will help you in clinical. I hope you enjoy the class, and I hope you learned something. Thanks.